Okay. Good evening, beloveds. I got home late last night. We drove back down to Galveston yesterday and went to the U.S. Naval Museum, the Galveston Naval Museum. They have a submarine and a destroyer, both of which you can climb. Well, the submarine you climb down into, and the destroyer you can climb up into. And Tom and I climbed all over those ships, both of them. It was fascinating. It was interesting. It was an amazing experience. And Lilia had a great time watching us. Like, she walked around the outside, but she's been in a submarine and been on a destroyer before. So she was not doing that. So that was great. And then we drove down to the end of the pier, cause it's on Pelican Island and just like all the way, like at one end of it. And, so I got pretty close to a couple of pelicans. Not very close because I don't trust those birds. And I was unaware of how big seagulls were. Those seagulls were massive. So then we turned around and went back, and of all the places we decided to go, we went to IHOP for dinner. And then we went to Moody Gardens we went to see the Iceland, all of the ice sculptures. We did the holiday lights. We walked back into part of the holiday lights and did the s'mores. And then, and we also, they had a 3D movie and a 4D movie, which I don't know what was going on with the 3D movie, but I wanted to see Scrooged 4D, but it didn't look like it was playing Scrooge 4D. It looked like it was playing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But when we got in there, it was playing Scrooge. So I got to see Scrooge, and the holiday lights were amazing. And apparently they're the same every year. Now, Iceland changes every year, and Tom had made noises about going ice skating, but at this point, we were just like, nope, we didn't do it. I wasn't going to do it anyway. I would have happily gone in there and watched him, but I was not going to go ice skating. I have been on ice skates before. It was a disaster. So, but we got home really late, and then we decided to go to NASA today, and NASA is 3/4 of the way to Galveston. So, like, I just forgot. Straight up forgot this morning. Bought the NASA tickets and scurried out the door to get down there, because it was going to take over an hour to get there. And they have timed entry tickets, and I had also booked the mission control tour, so we needed to be there for that. And so I just forgot. So I'm doing it now. Yay. Okay. Hopefully I'll remember in the morning to do it. Okay, so we're doing Your Spiritual Power. Let's do the housekeeping really quick. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email info@creativelife.org. Get you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot, and it is a blind CC. And I do mean one email a week. It's only if something unusual happens, mostly weather. Cause we do live on the Gulf Coast. So, cause it's a real person doing it, and he just doesn't have time for that. So, you might want to sign up for that email. And then the, social medias, and I mentioned the social medias merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. So like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on, and then engage with the individual posts by reacting, sharing, and commenting on those posts. It bumps us in the algorithms. More people see our stuff. It's a free and easy way that you can support the center. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark, depending on which platform you are on. And I am the running Rev Ryan across all of the platforms. Are you bringing me a troublemaker?
Yep.
Giovanni. Okay, and he sauntered right back out of the room. So, okay. Tom walks in carrying a cat. I'm like, why are you bringing me a cat? Okay. All right. So what we are doing is Your Spiritual Power, which is, it says right here, a collection. It's a collection. It's a library, to use Reverend Norm's phrase. It is a library of works that may not have been readily available anywhere else. So somebody pulled them together into a collection. We happen to be doing the third book in here, which actually is a collection of Ernest Holmes' early Science of Mind magazine articles, which is why they have a different tone. So Willis Kinnear was, I think he actually lived with Ernest for a little while towards the end of Ernest's life to help Ernest, whatever that looks like. And so he's the one who I think pulled together all three of the books, if not through all three of them, two of them, Discover a Richer Life, Living Without Fear, and we are doing Think Your Troubles Away. So that's what they are. They're all collections of his Science of Mind articles. So that is really cool. And that's probably the last book in this. I don't know though. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it is. So when we finish this book, I will have to find another one. Because that's all we got left right there. Just a little bit. Okay. So we are doing, as I said, Think Your Troubles Away. And the article that we have today is A New Universe. A pronouncement of one of our greatest modern scientific men, Sir James Jeans, was that we are coming to think of the universe as though it were an expression of an infinite thinker, thinking mathematically. Coming from such a person, that is a very interesting concept. What does such an interpretation of the universe mean from our point of view? We believe that there is a spirit in the universe, an infinite, spontaneous, self-knowing spirit. All religions believe this. Most philosophies believe this, and in the scientific world, the opinion is divided. I mean, they name one of our earliest ancestors Eve, and then are searching for the God particle. Yeah. They have opinions. This infinite and spontaneous awareness we call spirit or God, the universal intelligence. We believe that there is also an infinite law in the universe which obeys the will of this infinite intelligence, a law which cannot argue, which is intelligent but unfeeling and unthinking. It is a law which knows not why it does, but knows how to do what it does. An infinite law which is mathematical in its operation. We very carefully differentiate between the law, or the infinite doer, and the spirit, the infinite knower. The knowingness of spirit we call contemplation, or the word. That which the spirit knows becomes the law of its action, and this is the way its self-contemplation is manifest. The law, being unfeeling, does not care if a person is a saint. It does not worry if they are a sinner. The laws of physics work alike for all people. Jesus, who was a profound thinker as well as a spiritual genius, announced this when he said, "Your Father sendeth rain on the just and the unjust." The law operates according to the way it is contacted or used, and acts with precision but without emotion. But back of this law, there must be an infinite emotion, or else we could not have emotion. Infinite feeling, or else we could not have feeling. Infinite spirit or being, else we could not be. The spirit will never produce anything unlike itself. Consequently, the very fact that we have warmth, color, emotion, initiative, and some powers which are conscious and others automatic is all the evidence that one needs if they are to be a rational and clear thinker. Back of everything is an infinite mind or knower. Science is making a tremendous contribution. Wow, I just cannot talk right now. Science is making a tremendous contribution in that it is deducing a scientific philosophy which will build up rather than destroy humanity's belief in God. Science has done another thing. It has theoretically dissolved the material universe. Okay? Science is sense, so it does not deny any particular object or form as such is real. It has done away, however, with the material universe as being a thing of itself and found that it is only energy and lines of force combining for the specific found that it is only energy and lines of force combining for the specific purposes of producing forms, all of which are temporary. It is interesting to note that the Bible affirms this position, saying that nothing is permanent in the objective world, that everything is in a state of continuous flow. Sir Oliver Lodge brought out this same thing by saying that the material form is always flowing and that the apparent continuity of it is not occasioned by the flow, but by the mold which holds the flow in place. Science teaches us that there is not an atom of our physical being that was in it even a few months ago. We can say this: we were born anew in this day and will be born anew in the next. A year from today, if we were to return to the same room we are in now, except for the mind that brings us here, we would not bring anything with us in our physical bodies that we have with us right now. I do not see any reason, theoretically at least, why a person could not heal themselves of anything given time if a new mold could be furnished. This is not just a metaphysical abstraction. The Bible says things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. What we see comes out of what we do not see. This is exactly the position that modern philosophers take. It is called the theory of emergent evolution, which means that when nature needs something, it demands it of itself, and out of itself makes it. So, in the evolution of the human beings, when it was necessary for them to grasp, fingers were produced. Why then, if it is necessary for you and me to know something we do not know, can we not, according to this theory of emergence, demand the information of ourselves and have it come to be known? The Bible says there is a spirit in humanity, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Science, philosophy, metaphysics, and religion, viewed from the universal viewpoint, are all of much the same opinion. We believe that when the human mind, individually and collectively, needs a new truth, out of the necessity of the desire comes the truth it needs. Everything we know in philosophy and science proves it. Out of the desire for a greater good comes ways and means for creating the greater good. And if every person made a demand upon intelligence for the solution to the present world problems through the minds of those people who are our national... Oh, wait. I don't know where my mind just went. Okay, hang on. Everything we know in philosophy and science proves it. Out of the desire for greater good come ways and means for creating the greater good. Okay, out of the desire. And if every person made a demand upon intelligence for the solution to the present world problems, through the minds of those people who are our national leaders, would come an adequate and happy solution. That is in line with what we know about the way life works. We must be practical. We must prove this modern philosophy, for unless we do, it is worthless. We are conscious of certain needs. We need greater happiness, more love, wider friendships, deeper understanding, wiser counsel and advice, happier environments, a more tranquil mind, a healthier body. We say, I have all of these things. I am surrounded by friends, love, happiness, and abundance. My environment is right and harmonious. And this is what we call a spiritual mind treatment. By making these affirmations and believing in them, they possess the law of their own fulfillment out of the great universal law. Our claim, being one of faith and belief, would call for or cause to be manifested the answer. Metaphysical practice is not the use of willpower, nor is it an exercise to develop the will to the extent that one can concentrate on a given thought or object for some period of time. I call that white knuckling it. That kind of will, though popularly thought of as attending metaphysical practice, hey sugar, is contrary to the way in which life operates. We use the will merely to decide what it is we are going to do. Spiritual thought force is greater than any material resistance, because there is no material resistance to spiritual thought force. This is the meaning of the new universe. The universe explained as a spiritual system, a divine order, a unitary and everlasting and indestructible wholeness, so near, so close to us, that every thought form carries with it the cause of its own manifestation. So marvelous is that freedom which divinity has bequeathed us, that it has become our very bondage when we see it as bondage. It is our good when we use it as good. We have reached the place in our evolution where we can consciously cooperate and demonstrate the greater good. Where is the individual's place in the universe? The universe cannot be a joke, yet it cannot be over serious. We become too serious, too tense. The universe is a joyous manifestation of some self-sufficient cause, some universal intelligence, some divine and ever-present will and purposiveness, which appears to desire self-expression that it may enjoy what it knows itself to be. Humanity is divine because there is imparted to it and incarnated in it some part of that indivisible wholeness, which is what we mean by God or Spirit. Every individual is some part of the universal wholeness, yet each is unique in that no two people can ever be alike. For spirit is eternally individualizing, personifying itself in infinite variation while ever remaining a unity. This is a stupendous concept, and when rightly understood, will answer a great many questions. We wonder why there is suffering in the world, an apparent negation. If a person does the best they know, if they are as good as they know how to be, why is it that what we call ill fortune can come to them? I think that everybody somewhere along the line must ask that question of themselves, but it seems that we are now beginning to find the answer. If we are made out of this universal wholeness, then we are some part of the divine being, and its nature is incarnated in us. with the prerogatives of that nature, the power to do, will, and choose, the necessity of being an individual with self-choice, in which case there must be a law backing up our choice. Consequently, we can bring to ourselves what we call limitation by the very same law that could bring us to freedom. If this were not true, it would mean that there was a law of freedom and a law of bondage, two opposing forces. Hence, no infinite or eternal. Jesus understood this completely, for he said that when a person is in league with this infinite purpose and will, then it will be then it is they, the two are one. What? Okay. Ugh. Self-realization comes to us not by antagonizing or fighting other people's ways of believing, not by struggle or by strife, but by recognition. That is, by knowing the truth, by alignment with the nature of reality, which is wholeness and unity, goodness, truth, and beauty. Self-realization is not a struggle for personal attainment. It is not the setting up of adversaries to knock down. As we come to the recognition of what and who we are, we will see that we do not have to contend with anything on earth. We do not have to struggle to find a place for ourselves in the universe. In the sight of the Spirit, which is also in the sight of our own spiritual natures, we are part of its expression. No matter where we are, anything that expresses is the light that it expresses. And we have jumped off the cliff into, What? This should add a new dignity to our concept of ourselves. It should enable us to know that the eternal I am in us will always remain infinite, unique, eternal, and yet, in its oneness, the root of all life. No longer does a person need to feel themselves to be a worm of the dust, a lost soul. There is just as much God in one person as there is in another. If it seems as though there were more God in one person than another, it is simply because some people have used more of this divine gift. It gives us a new sense of human values to realize that all humanity is divinity waking up to itself through self-discovery and self-realization. Plotinus said that all people have the kingdom of heaven within them. All people are of God. Emerson said that all people are a part of the universal mind, and that all people are the inlet and may become the outlet to the same and to all of the same. That is what Jesus meant when he said, I am the way. He did not mean the limited Jesus, but the limitless Christ. He was referring to the divine nature of every person, that divinity which we come to in our own nature, which is called the secret place of the Most High. They that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide forever under the shadow of the Almighty. It means the divine incarnation, that thing which quickens by its glory every act of our human experience. The greatest evidence we have of divinity is humanity. All our study and concern with theories is only that we may prove and practice them. Practice, then, is the art and the act and the science. Art, because it is a harmonious thing. Hang on. Let me try that again. Practice, then, is the art and the act and the science. Art, because it is harmonious, a thing of perfect harmony. Act, because it is an aggressive, conscious thing. Science, because it is subject to exact laws of bringing our thought consciously and subjectively to absolutely believe and accept and embody statements and declarations which affirm the great realizations of spiritual perceptions as now present in fact, in experience, and manifestation. Practice is not a suggestion. We would not suggest that God be omnipotent. Okay, that sentence is... Let's ride this out. Practice is not a rite of concentration because we could not concentrate God. We do not try to concentrate livingness. We try to center our attention upon it, that we may see that it is concentrated already. Practice is knowing the truth that the same pure intelligence, the volition and will that created the universe is incarnated in us right now. The spiritual mind treatment becomes a statement of our belief, an affirmation of our investigation, and the specific things we accept in our treatment externalize in exact mathematical ratio to the beliefs which deny... And the specific things we accept in our treatment externalize in exact mathematical ratio as the beliefs which deny them are dissolved from our consciousness. We are not religiously superstitious. We say this: there is such a thing as spirit. Spirit is intelligent. It is all powerful. Spirit is really here. It does work. But it can only work for us as we let it. We only let it as we believe and embody it. Therefore, we will practice our belief in such a degree as we do this, we will find that we are practicing self-realization, and this is the most remarkable thing that has been discovered. The power of spiritual thought force over apparent material resistance. The kingdom of heaven cometh not by external observation, but by internal recognition. That was a heck of an ending line there, wasn't it? The kingdom of heaven cometh not by external observation, but by internal recognition. If you want to get to the kingdom of heaven, you have to find it within yourself. It's not out there. And nothing out there will bring you the kingdom of heaven until you are willing to turn within and meet the source of your own being. And there we are. I'm going to stop talking. Mostly because I'm tired. But that was a good one. And tomorrow we will pick up with a new freedom. So, take care of yourself. No, hang on. I'm going to encourage... I would normally do that during the day. So if you're listening to this any other time than tonight, and even tonight, because you still have a few hours, right? Have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, awesome day, amazing day. You got this day. Wow, there's going to be a lot of stairs day. Because there were a lot of stairs today. Take care of yourself day, a drink plenty of water day, and eat something good for you day, and eat something that tastes really good day, stuff your head full of knowledge day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a take care of yourself day, go watch the sunset day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, I do, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, a work in progress at the same time. at your own pace, a brilliant light, and a divine spark. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Trust me on that. Anything is possible. Or don't trust me on that. Go try it out, because that's what he's talking about. Practice, practice, practice. Theory is all well and good, but if you don't test it out, what are we even doing here? All right, beloveds. I'm sure Reverend David was on around 5. I don't know. I'll scroll back a video and find out. I'm going to attempt to do this tomorrow morning, mostly because I'm not going to leave anywhere near as early tomorrow as I did today. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.